1 second, and you may begin now. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to eProcurement 101. I am Pamela Walker-Smith, your presenter for today, and we will go over the business process of submitting a bid solicitation and the iSupplier portal and eProcurement and its contents. Our agenda is: what is eProcurement? Accessing the iSupplier portal with online bidding, how to register, view bids and solicitations, how to respond to a bid solicitation, and at the end, any questions that you may have. As an overview, eProcurement is the enhanced City of Chicago's FMPS. We call it lovingly call it FMPS. It is our financial management procurement system. It applies the web technology to the acquisitions of goods and services. The iSupplier portal is a full-service resource for vendors doing business or those that are interested in doing business with the city. To date, our fully contract types in eProcurement are commodities, constructions, and small orders, and to come this year will be professional services, aviation, and work services. Later on in the year, maybe closer to the end of the year, because it is such an intricate process, will be vehicles and heavy equipment. The city has implemented the iSupplier portal. I would like to get rid of it. Sorry. The city has implemented the iSupplier portal online bidding for eProcurement for all of our purchasing activities. As a registered vendor, you and the iSupplier portal will be able to view and respond to bid solicitations online, view your orders, payments, invoices past and present, those that were prior to eProcurement. Update your company information, your contacts, address, phone numbers, and email addresses. To assist with the transition of the iSupplier and online bidding process, the city developed the eProcurement Microsite. It is a how-to manual for eProcurement. Its web address is www.cityofchicago.org/eProcurement. The security of our microsite and the security of the iSupplier portal, FMPS, that originates in Oracle, has the banking protocol of HTTPS. Your bids are not visible to employees or vendors prior to our bid opening. Please be assured that your bid is secure. Log in for first-time vendors. So if you are an existing vendor with the city and you have a vendor number, you will go to the microsite and click on request for an iSupplier invitation. New vendors who currently does not have a vendor number with the city, has never done business with the city, you new vendor, you must register. What is needed at a time for new vendor registration will be a PDF of your W-9, it's different names, your W-9, your FEIN, or your tax ID number. The legal business name of your company that's on that W-9 must be the name that you are registering your company with. If not, your registration will be returned to you requesting that information. This is a screenshot of the microsite. This is your how-to manual web page. The landing page has an orange ribbon there. From left to right, it's home, login, current bids and solicitations, online training material, and help. And in this workshop, we will go through those links. Here on the landing page, down at the bottom, I'm not sure if you can see my cursor or not, but at the bottom of this page, it reads, please be advised that eProcurement training sessions that we are viral now, and these are our dates. So although you are attending today's date at March the 11th, you can attend as many workshops as you like until you're comfortable with the process and or inform your friends as well. Current vendor registration. Now, as I said, If you currently have a vendor number with the city and you are interested now in bidding on an electronic solicitation, you must request an iSupplier invitation, which is the orange button down at the bottom. This page is speaking to our sister agencies who are our city colleges and CHA and Park District, CPS, CTA, McPeer, and Public Building Commissions, and there are some others. There are sister agencies, and you may have done business with them before, and you may have some certifications, or you may have a vendor number with them. Those numbers and documents are not transferable to the city of Chicago. In order to be an iSupplier vendor, you must register as an iSupplier vendor. I often get questions from our sister agency vendors stating that they were told they can use their certifications that they may have from our sister agencies, or that they've done business and this is their vendor number. And it's not, that's an inaccurate statement. You must be registered through the city of Chicago. So again, if you are an existing vendor and you're looking at you're interested in a solicitation with the city of Chicago, and you're not an iSupplier, you come into the microsite and you click on the orange button that says Request iSupplier Invitation. For new vendors, you would click on this orange button that reads New Vendor Registration. And if you may have questions on its process, up under that link, there is another link that reads to how to register. So it will walk you through. Above the button, there's information there for you, which is also expressing that you must enter your FEIN number, and you must upload a W-9. On the orange ribbon to the top, up under Current Bid Opportunities Overview, there is a button that reads Current Bids and Solicitation Opportunities. The bigger button is right here. This is where you will view our paper bids and or our electronic solicitations. You're able to view the pre-bid submittal conferences. And here where it says non-eProcurement bid, those would be our paper bids, to which it would have to be an extreme circumstance that we would be doing a paper bid solicitation, because post-COVID, all bids are electronic. When you click on the orange ribbon, you will come here to current bid opportunities. On this landing page, you have several options. Here, you can also look at the weekly bid opportunities, which is a weekly listing of the current bid opportunities, be it paper and or electronic. Below here is where we would list where it says paper bid opportunities. That download, that's where you would, well, I'm sorry, I don't want to misspeak. The download, the bid opportunities list is just that, the weekly bid opportunities listing. The paper bid opportunities are listed below when we have some. We do have some current ones out now, but they're special project types, and they should be closed by now, hopefully. If you wanted to look at our pre-bid and our pre-submittal conference pages, this screenshot is just to show you how much information we have out there readily for you. You would go to the pre-bid conference attendees link and click on it, and it'll bring you to this landing page. And you would come over to the subject title, What We Do. And here you see for DPS, Department of Procurement Services, what we do lists a lot of content that the vendors would be interested in. But this screenshot particularly is speaking to pre-bid and pre-submittal conference attendees. And where you see the hand pointing, it's pointing to the page that you would click on to look at that. Takeout list. Between the pre-bid conference and the takeout list, I think that's something that's very advantageous to our vendor community, in that if you are interested in a bid solicitation, first, you should attend the pre-bid conference. It should be noted on that solicitation that there will be a pre-bid conference, and you should attend it, because you will meet the project managers and engineers, um, colleagues from the department that's letting out the solicitation, as well as the procurement specialist who presents the solicitation to you. They give you all the information that you would have questions about pertaining to that particular solicitation. So we highly recommend that you do attend a pre-bid, a conference, or submittal, as well as the takeout list that we see here. The takeout list is a listing of the vendors who are interested in the solicitation, as you are, and they simply clicked on the PDF of the takeout list. It registers in Oracle as a recipient of the solicitation, and then you're able to see whom may also be interested in it as you are. Once you click on the takeout list, how you get to view who's on that list is you select the takeout list. It'll bring you to this landing page. You put in the vendor name if you know it. You can also use a wildcard search with the percent sign before and or after what name you may know. And then you would put it in this field here, speaking the vendor name, hit the search bar. The search bar will bring you a page that would list who the vendors were that took out the specification. Now, solicitations are noted with a specification number and an RFQ number, but on the website, searches list primarily the spec number, and that's this number here that's to the left. Current bid opportunities. This page right here, this landing page here, is our abstract. This abstract, when you click on the orange button at the top that says eBid, eProcurement bid and solicitation opportunities, it's going to bring you to the abstract page. This abstract that we're looking at right now is an abstract of all of the solicitations that are currently active and ready for bidding on. This is what that page looks like. When you select a particular RFQ number from the abstract page, this is the information and how it's presented to you. You'll get it in a horizontal view here, and we'll go from left to right, where there is your department name, who is the department that is letting out the solicitation, the contract type, now named events, and new terminology would be commodities. Procurement does not use project program model. The solicitation number is your RFQ number, the specification number of the RFQ. Your solicitation title is the description of the RFQ, and the description is always preceded by the specification number. The date of advertisement is the date that it hits the paper. The supplier response due date is the same date of advertisement as the date that you can begin to fill out the solicitation if that's what you like. The supplier response due date is the date that the bid is opening. The only time you will see anything into the protected markets is if it is a target market RFQ. The deadline for questions is a hard date. Okay, so what that means is, for this particular example, that the bid is opening, the bid advertises January 21st. You can begin filling in the electronic solicitation on the same date that it advertised. But before the bid closes in February, on January the 28th is your deadline that you have to ask any questions pertaining to this solicitation to the procurement specialist. You are not to send online discussions to the using department, but you send your online discussions to the procurement specialist of the particular RFQ queue by the deadline date. Any date after the deadline date, they're not obligated to receive or respond to that question. What happens with that question as well, if there are several of you or one of you who have asked a question before the deadline date, those questions are answered and turned into an addendum to that particular RFQ. Here in the middle section is just a vertical view of what is above horizontally. Now, here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it reads document PDF file. You click on this document PDF file, not the one at the top here at below abstract continue, not that PDF file, but down below at document where it reads PDF file. You click that and your PDF will populate as in the example below. Now you have registered. You received your email from Workflow Mailer with your temporary password. You've received the you've changed your temporary password to your permanent password, and now you are into Oracle at the eBusiness Suite's Apps Prod. Apps Prod means that it's an applications production. So now you are ready to look at your vendor record, and you're ready to access that solicitation that you may submit. In this screenshot example here, we're looking at your first folder, vendors, external sources in Oracle will receive upon approval, in registration and approval, logged in, you'll get two folders. At the Oracle Applications homepage, you see two folders there, they're yellow. One is iSupplier portal with invoice creation, and the other is City of Chicago online bidding. If you do not have two folders, please contact the customer support, which we'll get to that at the end of the presentation. In this example here, we're looking at the first folder, which is again iSupplier portal with invoice creation. You have 5 tabs: home, orders, shipments, admin, and finance. The orders and the shipments and finance are just that. They're the Department of Finance, and procurement cannot speak to the financial matters. The fourth one is admin, and the admin is your vendor record. There, up under profile management, you can change your address, add an address, add a contact, as well as give that contact person that you may be adding access to the iSupplier portal. Our second folder is City of Chicago's online bidding. Here, down over to the left, you would select City of Chicago online bidding. That populates sourcing, and then you would select sourcing homepage. When you select sourcing homepage, you'll get your negotiation page. As being a new vendor, your page will look just like this. It'll be blank, but as you begin to do business with the city, with electronic solicitations, as you begin to do business with the Department of Finance, you may want to look up some just to see the accuracy of the system, and or to find out if payments have been received, receipts received and payments made. That is something that you would be able to do in your first folder, iSupplier portal with invoice creations. You're able to look at that as well. In your second folder, this begins the solicitation process. We'll go through the legend. Now, to not confuse you at all, terminology changed when we adopted eProcurement. Now, your response number from left to right, Your response number is, once you go into that solicitation and you click and save, you may have entered something. You may not have, but you clicked it and then you saved it. Once you save it, you'll get your response number. Write that down and keep up with it, because at this time, if you have not submitted it, it is a draft. So your response number is the number to the left. Your response status will be active, draft, or requires resubmission is required. A resubmission is required occurs when an addendum has been processed. That means their resubmission required. You must acknowledge that addendum. The site, supplier site, would be your address site code. Like for the city of Chicago, as an example, we would be 121 North LaSalle, Site A. The solicitation number is just that, what your RFQ number is. The title is, as I stated, the specification number and the description of the solicitation. Its type is always RFQ. It informs you how much time you have left before the bid is opened, and if you have any messages. And in this example down at the bottom, this particular RFQ has 2 messages associated with it. Now you want to search for your RFQ. At the top, to the top left, it reads Search Open Solicitations. There are several methods for which you can search: by title. Title is actually the specification number, and number is actually the RFQ number. So that's the change in terminology. So you can select one of those. Those are our primary methods of search, title and number, and then you would hit the word go. In this example, we did a fuzzy search. And what's a fuzzy search is, let's say, just say, time is of the essence. You don't have all the documentation or information right there in your face, but you know that, oh, I want to start with this solicitation. I think the number is 7. I don't know all the numbers, but I know the first number was a 7. So you can put that number in the number field and hit go, and it'll do a fuzzy search and bring up everything, every solicitation that is active with the number 7. Then you find your solicitation. Once you're inside of the solicitation, oh, please let me go back. This response button right here, when you populate your solicitation and it comes up and you're ready to go into it, click Select Negotiation, Respond. Click that response button. That activates your entry into the solicitation. You can go into the solicitation and not click respond. You will not be able to submit. So click respond first and then go into your solicitation. Once inside, your first page will be the acknowledgement of the City of Chicago's disclaimer to the electronic processing of the bid solicitation. You must accept that. Sorry, you must click I have read it, and then you will be able to accept it. The button will initially be grayed out. When you select I have read it, then you will be able to accept. Now you're in, and you have 2 folders to an RFQ. The first folder is a tab, is named header, and the second is named lines. So the first one being header is just that. It's the header of the solicitation. It gives you some information that we looked at earlier pertaining to how much time is left and when the bid opening. It gives you your title. It gives you your supplier name, that's letting you know that you're in there. And you're able to add your attachments from this page, as well as what's most important is requirements. At requirements, this first one, focused title requirements, is that given by the department, by DPS, the procurement specialist, is just informing you that we have these options as far as our preferences, if we're giving you our funding source, what is the event type. Here it says the DPS unit is being a commodity. It's informing you on this example that there's a drawing and that the terms are 60 months. The most important here are the white boxes that occur in the RFQ up under requirements. You must fill out every box. No box can be blank. Now, remember I said for registering as an iSupplier vendor, you must upload a W-9 of your FEIN number. For solicitations, you must upload your EDS, your economic disclosure statement, and you must enter the number here where that line reads, enter your EDS number certificate and attach it. That is a must-have requirement here. At the top, if it applies to you, you can speak to it. If not, you can say none or NA. Below that, here, these are yes, no boxes. All yes, no's, all boxes must be answered yes or no. If you don't, you miss one, you skip one, you'll get an error message at the top of your form. If you have attachments, and you will have attachments, your insurance certificate, your EDS, your signing, your signature pages, your contact information, which it does ask you for that, or any other documents that they may ask you for, licenses, certificates, things of that nature. Here at Add Attachment, please put the spec number first, 12345 colon, and whatever it is. EDS certificate, 12345 colon, insurance. And then you can add another and add another and add another until you're done. It'll ask you to apply. Here at the second tab is lines. Being an electronic system, all you have to enter is your quote price unit, your value that you are committing to on the solicitation. The estimated quantity from the using department that's letting the contract is already part of the document. You don't have to key anything there. It's there for you and what their estimating quantity is for that line item. And then you would enter in your quote unit price for that line item. The system will do the math. Once you've completed that, now for construction, there could be several lines, and it may contain a spreadsheet. We're not going over the spreadsheet method in our workshop because it can be time consuming. But if you would have questions about the spreadsheet and how to enter and or upload, you have the freedom to contact the procurement specialist who will assist you with that. But furthermore, once you click in the box, now you've added your quote price unit. Or even before that, once you say yes, no, up under requirements, as long as you save, on that first save that you do, you'll get your quote number. And for this example, our quote is at the confirmation at the top of the screen, and it has our quote number to the RFQ with the spec number and title, and it's informing us that we have a draft. Why do we have a draft? Because we have not submitted. So that would be your status right now on your landing page when you log in, because you have not submitted your solicitation. It's going to show you draft, where we saw active and resubmission required. There was no sample of a draft. That word draft would be in that area. This screenshot is speaking to online discussion. Online discussion is discussion that you would have with the procurement specialist. That's how you're going to ask your questions before the deadline date, or that's how you, well, any question. And so let's just say, while you are preparing your solicitation, you can ask the question. After the deadline date, you can't ask any questions. Okay, so we encourage you to begin your solicitation early, and we highly recommend that you do not wait until the day of the solicitation, or even the day before the solicitation is going to open, that you begin to start to submit your paperwork. You have the ability to print out the PDF of the solicitation, so you can begin to prepare your document work, and you can begin to upload, those things. We want you to get your solicitation in at a timely manner. The system will shut down at 11 o'clock the day the bid is going to be read. So 10:30 your time. If you're not in Chicago, we have a different time. Let's just say something happens. We may have some technicalities at the city. There could be some technicalities in your state or in your office or with your computer. And time is passing. We don't want you to miss the opportunity to submit your bid because you didn't have enough time. 15 minutes prior to the bid opening, that's not a good idea either. So just because anything can happen, glitches happen, all the time, system slow, anything, just get your bid in early as you can. Online discussion. So actions to the far right of the solicitation page is actions. There is a drop-down menu there for choices, but this choice is for online discussion, how you're going to speak with the specialist. And so it's pertaining to that solicitation. So you would put, again, the spec number in the field to send your message to get your, you'll have a new message here to the far left. It says new message, and you'll put your spec number there with your question. And then you can enter into the box, your fill box with whatever is the message that you want to speak to. And that is how you talk back and forth to the specialist. This is an example here. Again, your spec number and your subject and your message. And if you have to add any attachments, you're able to do it where it reads add attachments, and then you hit send. In the event that when you start now, you could have started this RFQ when you started it. And while you're in it, uploading documents and doing all that, you hit save. You go back in to that RFQ, and you'll see the same number with a comma and a number behind it. It all happened all at the same time. You were preparing your solicitation, and an addendum happened while you were preparing it. You'll get a warning, and it's letting you know that the negotiation for which you had already saved now has an amendment, and you must acknowledge the amendment. If you don't acknowledge the amendment, your solicitation will not be accepted. So you have to acknowledge it with a yes. At this point, comes the time for your electronic signature. The system is kind of quirky. We would think that if we click the box that says by submitting our bid proposal application, that that would be the right thing to do. If you see down at the bottom to the far right, the submit button is grayed out, which means you're not ready to submit yet. If you click that button by submitting your solicitation, if you select that sentence right there, the submit button is still going to be grayed out. The system wants you to put in your name and your title first, and then select the sentence above by submitting your proposal. Then the submit button will be shadowed, will be highlighted, and you'll be able to submit. That is kind of quirky to me, because I always, think you go at the top of the page and you find your way down. Not this page. First you do your name and your title, and then you select the box, and then you'll be able to submit your solicitation. Once you have submitted your solicitation, in that response status, remember, it could be active, draft, or resubmission required. Well, when it is active, your first active, you will receive a confirmation of your submission email. That is letting you know, vendor, that the city has received your solicitation, that you were successful in submitting it, and this confirms that you did it right, and we shall receive it. So you would get an email. If you don't get it immediately, you should get it by the next business day. Also, you can save and save often. You can go into that solicitation as many times as you like. What you cannot do is have someone else in your department continue on. If you have to stop, let's just say you started on your solicitation, and then your boss comes in and says, hey, I need you to get on an airplane, or I need you to go somewhere, do something that's going to prohibit you from continuing on the solicitation, and you say, hey, Joe, Bob, Susan, would you, I need you to complete the solicitation for the city of Chicago. Just go in and do it. Can't do it. That can't happen. You know what happens? They have to start from the beginning, because they can't go into they can't continue on a solicitation that your user ID and password began. Okay. So they would have to log in as themselves and start from the beginning. What you can do is print out what you did, so that they can mimic what your answer to the solicitation, that they can complete it. But just note that no one can, that's why we give you the ability to add a contact, so that if you're unable to complete a solicitation, you have a backup. Okay. So after your confirmation is received, then that would end this part of the presentation. But to further discuss the iSupplier portal microsite, which I promise is the best tool for you to use if you have any questions before you contact customer service, because it's all right here for you. Where you see verbiage, like to the left, we're going to read registration and profile updates. This is all pertaining to your vendor record. The word first time accessing iSupplier space video parentheses. If you click on the verbiage, you'll get a PDF to read. If you click on video, you'll be able to watch it. So that area is your commonplace, as well as supplier response submission to the far right. That is speaking to the solicitation and how to about the solicitation. In the middle is for finance, and the next would be delegate agency, to which we don't speak to because it's a different process for the city of Chicago. So that completes my part of the training and the workshop for iSupplier eProcurement. On the Microsite page to the far right is the word help. That's a help link. That link will bring you to this page, and it reads that if you have any questions, please contact our customer service, our customer support at City of Chicago at chicago.gov, or you can send them an email. They will create a ticket, and level 2 customer support for iSupplier will respond and assist in getting whatever access you need, or whatever problem what is occurring will be resolved through that ticket. So please contact our customer support. Training materials and videos are right where I showed you as well on the microsite, but the links that are on our workshop, that's on our presentation, are accessible. So if you see something with the link in the in the PDF of the workshop, you can click on that link and it'll take you to the page. I thank you so very much for your time and attention for this workshop. If you have any questions, you may ask them now.
All right. Thank you so much, Pam, for giving us that great information. Let me just set it up. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A panel right now and place your question in there, and Pam will answer it right at the moment. If there are no further questions, and I'll give you a few minutes. So Pam, if you can hang tight just a minute, I'm gonna give them a few minutes to write it down, because it takes a minute when you're trying to type it out and everything. I just want to give a couple of reminders or shout outs. We are having our construction summit, our 9th annual construction summit, on March 25th. It begins at 10 a.m. and it will run to 5 p.m. There are 5 different sessions that will take place that day. So if you are interested, look out for the TPS alert that will give you the link so you can sign up for any of the workshops that you might be interested in. Second of all, I want to thank Pam for giving us that information, and also thank the participants for coming today and spending half a day with us, or an hour with us, I should say, and accepting the information that we are giving you on how to use or how to submit your bids for eProcurement. And if there are no additional questions at this time, I will just say to the attendees that are here, we hope that you stay safe. We hope that you also stay well. We hope that you wash your hands, social distance, wear your mask, and get your vaccine when it is your turn. And hopefully we will see each and every one of you at City Hall in our 11th floor workshop room or in our bid and bond room someday real soon. So if there are no further questions, and I'm going to just check one more time with Rodney, if he has no further questions and he hasn't sent me anything at this moment, and I don't have any questions, I will say thank you all and have a good rest of your day. Thanks, Pam.
Thank you. Bye-bye.